Picture this. You're standing in the break room at work. Your manager, the person who's supposed to lead by example, looks you in the eyes and says black people shouldn't even be allowed in college because of low IQ. Everyone laughs. And you? You sit there, silent, swallowing the fire burning in your chest. But here's the thing. That fire doesn't go out. It waits. It grows. And eventually, it explodes in a way he never saw coming. If you've ever dreamed of watching karma smack a bully right in the face, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. I grew up in the UK, moving to Wales when I was just 5 years old. As a kid, I didn't understand racism. I thought the world was fair, that if you worked hard, you'd be treated with respect. But when I got older, especially when I started training as a heavy goods vehicle mechanic, I realized the truth. It began small. Offhand jokes from classmates during my 3-year apprenticeship, sneaky remarks from tutors, whispered words they thought I couldn't hear. At first, I told myself, ignore it. Be calm. Don't give them what they want. I wasn't confrontational. Violence wasn't in me. But over time, those little moments pile up, like drops of poison in a glass of water. And by the time I landed a job at a main dealership, that glass was already half full. Then came the new manager. From the first handshake, I felt it. That energy. That sharp shift in tone when he spoke to me compared to my white colleagues. Anyone who's ever been on the receiving end of prejudice knows what I mean. It wasn't just in what he said. It was in the pauses, the smirks, the way his eyes lingered on me like I didn't belong. He started small, touching my afro hair without permission, laughing like I was some exotic animal, mocking my African name, telling me to ask my mother why she gave me something so ridiculous. I kept my face straight, calm. But inside, my jaw tightened, my fists curled, and then he got bolder. One afternoon, standing next to my supervisor, he looked me dead in the eye and said, "Hey, maybe you should start a fire outside to send smoke signals to your African friends." The supervisor laughed. My stomach dropped, and I just stood there, stone-faced, swallowing the anger boiling in my chest. But that wasn't enough for him. In the canteen, in front of the whole team, he smirked and said, "Black people shouldn't even be in universities because of low IQs." People laughed awkwardly. I didn't. I sat there, staring at the floor, gripping my chair so hard my knuckles turned white. And then came the final straw. One cold morning, I was standing at the parts counter, wearing a hoodie. He thought the supervisor was around the corner, and without hesitation he muttered, "Never trust a colored man in a hoodie." Something in me snapped. My whole body burned. My teeth clenched so hard my jaw ached for days. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. His words echoed over and over in my head, louder every time. Reporting him wasn't an option. HR at that company was a joke. Complaints went nowhere. I knew I had two choices: let it eat me alive, or make him pay. Here's the thing about him. He had this little side hustle at work. Every week, he'd buy snacks and drinks in bulk, crisps, chocolates, sodas. Then he'd resell them to us for 50 pence or a pound, and use the money for team events like Christmas drinks. He was obsessed with one rule: only pay in 50 pence or 1 pound coins. One time, a mechanic who was struggling financially paid him in copper coins, and the manager humiliated him in front of everyone. Lazy, ungrateful, stupid. And that's when it clicked. If small change drove him insane, then small change was exactly how I'd destroy him. That night, I pulled out my jar of coins. Every single 1 pence and 2 pence I'd tossed aside over the months, I sat at my kitchen table for hours, counting. One by one. Click, clink, click. Until I had exactly 4 pounds in coppers. By the end, my hands were cramped, my eyes tired. But my heart? My heart was smiling. The next day, I walked into work like nothing was wrong. At break, I grabbed a few snacks and casually dropped the bag of coins into his hand. 4 pounds worth. The weight of it made his face twitch instantly. He froze. He looked down at the coins, then up at me. His jaw locked. But I didn't smirk, didn't laugh. I just walked away, calm. It didn't take long. At the 10 a.m. break, he stormed into the canteen, red-faced, clutching that bag of coins like it was toxic. "Who did this?" he shouted. His voice cracked, echoing off the walls. Silence. Everyone froze. I took a slow sip of my drink, turned to face him, and said calmly, "That was me." He erupted. "You lot have nothing better to do. I'm done with this. I'm not doing it anymore. You don't appreciate anything." He slammed the coins on the table,